Hello YouTube, Jay Riz here. For those of you who are just tuning in the channel, don't know who I am, my name is Jay Rizzo. I started this channel to get people on to tell their stories of the turmoil of addiction and the recovery lifestyle that they achieved throughout, various programs that they might have found. But this program, or this channel ain't just for me, you know what I mean? I'm not the recovery warrior, like we're all warriors in recovery, so to speak. So I asked, brothers and sisters to come on. And I know my brother here, Ryan, from a while ago from the sober living community, and his wife Tana here. I recently met her, and I basically put out an ad to see who wanted to be on my channel, and she was one of the ones that answered it. So I asked her to be on the channel, and we're gonna hear the story of how they met. Like I said, they're married.
Don't remember.
Yeah, but they're both in recovery. They're a big powerhouse in the recovery community here in Bismarck, North Dakota. And without further ado, I'll hand it off to the couple here, Ryan and Tana.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
Hi, I'm Tana. I'm in recovery. I'll say I wanted to start out by saying my sobriety birthday is 3/13/2015.
And mine is 11/7/15.
You remembered.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't want a new one.
Good day.
So how I got that sobriety date was leading up to that. A lot of stuff happened, and a lot of it I still don't remember, but a lot of it I do. And so there was all this chatter in my head all the time when I was drinking and using, and lots of chatter, and the chatter was telling me lies all the time. I'm not good enough. I should be full of shame. I should be guilty, feel guilty about all these things. And I did do things that were shameful, and when I first got sober, I wasn't proud of. And so a lot of things did happen, and I tried to push it down and hide it, and that doesn't work.
No, it's basically part of the healing journey, right?
Yes.
It's basically who made us.
Yep.
We've all done it, us in recovery.
Yeah.
The shameful past. But
Yes.
oh well.
And so when I got sober in 2015, when I woke up in jail again, because that's how I always ended up, in jail or the psych ward or something like that, locked up. It's either locked up, buried up, or recovered up. So I got locked up a lot, and I could never quit drinking on my own. And for a long time, I didn't want to. I didn't want to quit. And because I didn't think there was a problem. I thought everybody else was the problem. And so when I got sober in 2015 and I came to in jail, and I thought to myself, what is going to be different this time? Because I always declared something was going to be, it's going to be different this time. And it never was, and I thought, well, what is going to be different? And that was like a small turning point for me. And when I finally started coming to and getting sort of a clear mind, I thought to myself, how can I do this different? I did not have a clue how to live sober. And then Ryan and I were just talking about something that happened when I was in sobriety that was I'm less than proud of, but I'm human.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
So, every time I went to treatment, I always met a cute boy, and I was gonna marry him. He was gonna be the love of my life, and every time it always ended in not a good way. Every time. Because I thought, well, I got a new project, or, just something sick, things like that. But I just knew I didn't want to drink again. I didn't want to do drugs again. And I met Ryan. We had the same home group at our social support group.
So you guys met out of treatment and all that on the street?
Yeah.
You guys basically just met,
Yeah.
had a meeting.
Yep.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And I was already.
True love.
Yeah.
We're
And
gonna
it's,
keep each other sober.
She was sponsoring me.
no.
No kidding. Don't do that.
This is the best part about recovery is being able to joke around and laugh. However, this disease of alcoholism and drug addiction is life or death. It's life or death. And that part is serious. And so, but yeah, being able to laugh and joke around, like I was telling these guys, Ryan's the funny one and I'm the serious one, and Ryan brings up Ryan brings out the funny in me.
That's good. That's the balance we look for.
Yep.
And so anyway, Ryan invited me to a ceremony to pray, and we weren't dating. I mean, I thought we were, but and that's the sick part of my mind, saying that I already know what's happening, but in reality I'm delusional without, really working the 12 steps of a program. And anyway, we went to go, and it wasn't even going on. There wasn't a fire started, there wasn't anything going on, and I was terrified the whole way because, anyway, I won't get into that. But I was scared because I was still scared of prayer. I was still scared of, looking like a idiot, when really that's not who I am. I'm not an idiot. I'm not any of those negative things that I told myself for all them years. I'm not good enough. I'm an idiot. I'm a loser. I'm this, I'm that. I'm either a legend or I'm a worthless person, and no one wants me, or everyone wants me. And that's the delusion I lived in. Anyway, we met, and I'm gonna hand it off to Ryan a little bit here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how I got into recovery is a lot of poor decision making and almost dying quite a few times. Like the first time dying didn't work. I was into everything, whatever you had, drugs, alcohol, didn't matter. If it changed the way I perceive things, then I wanted to do it at least 3 times. Even if it made me feel like crap, I'd try it a few times.
Yeah, exactly.
I had 22 years of that. It was the lying, the cheating, the stealing, running, hiding, and avoiding, manipulating, womanizing, and it was just a constant stream of that. And everybody that loved me dearly, I pushed away because I took that unconditional love and spun it into a sick, toxic way for me to get another fix.
Yeah.
So, like I said, my sobriety date's November 7th of 15.
Now, how did you acquire that date? Did you go to jail? Did you surrender?
So I wish I could say that was my first and only sobriety date, but I came into the program out of treatment, and I had this idea that I needed a sober girlfriend. I really didn't need to have a mentor or a sponsor or anybody to ask any questions.
So you were on the prowl. Huh?
Yeah. So I mean, and a lot of it was because a bunch of these gray-haired old-timers told me, or said in the meetings, try not to get into a relationship in a year. So in the first 18 months, I got in 6. And none of them worked out because I'm the common denominator.
Right.
I'm just a big old man baby. At that point, I don't know how to offer anything. So I relapsed because this girlfriend that I had wasn't texting me back, and then she texted me back and said she was gonna focus on her recovery, and I was like, I thought I was your recovery.
Good for her.
Good for her, but she was my higher power, so my higher power quit on me. That's what I thought at the time. That's not the truth. And I relapsed. And what I realized, I relapsed for about 2.5 months on pills and alcohol and meth. And what I realized is what was being said in those 12-step meetings was true. And that was that I can't control my drinking. I can't control my drug use. And the people in there, or those programs ruined my drinking and my using.
So speaking from experience, I've heard this before. Like people, when they get into the program, you know, they start to steps 2, 3, 4, whatever, and then they fall off, and then it's hard for them to stay in addiction because basically they have a head full of AA. Is that true? I mean, I've never tried it yet. This is my first stint of being in recovery. You know? I'm still here, you know, so I don't know how that is.
A head full of AA or NA and a belly full of booze is horrible.
Is it? Is it okay?
It's and I had people in the program, brothers and sisters and family members in recovery calling me, "Are you okay? What are you up to? Do you want us to come pick you up?" And I was ignoring them all. And the cool thing is that fought that voice in my head that said, "You screwed up for the last time, Ryan." So I came back to recovery and I decided to focus on myself. Decided to focus on getting a good relationship with a higher power of my understanding, not anybody else's. And I stayed celibate. I made a year pledge. I made it 9 months.
Got him. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I ain't gonna try to lie.
You devil, you.
I really got to make friends with that guy in the mirror.
Yeah.
That was really important.
That's cool.
Because I learned that when I make friends with that guy in the mirror, everybody else around me is pretty chill.
Oh, yeah.
But if I'm beating myself up or I'm carrying something around that doesn't belong with me, I let that out sideways at people that don't deserve it. And the cool thing about working on myself in that way is I got to meet a healthy woman.
Yeah.
A woman who was working the steps.
That's cool.
And she scared the crap out of me because I was used to dependent women. Like, oh, you complete me. And, oh, you're everything I've been looking for. And she didn't need me. Right. And I remember calling my sponsor and going, she doesn't need me. I don't know how to do this.
That's crazy, man. Like with my fiance now, it's crazy. We started talking. You know, I met her on Facebook and we started chatting. I didn't tell her my you know, I was in sober living. You know, I was just talking to her like a man. You know how we are. We put our meat hooks in and try to drag them in. But anyways, I was talking to her and she said, "Well, if you ever drink or find out you're doing anything," she said, "I'm not even gonna waste my time on you." And I was like, you know what, check this out, man. You know what? And it's like, I'm in recovery. I live in a sober living house. I'm a house man. You know, I just laid it on her and put it on the table.
Set the hook.
And she's like, no way. I really, you're in. I'm not going to lie. I didn't wait a year, you know, but I'm still with her and it's going on 2 years later, you know.
That's wonderful.
We're engaged and it's just wonderful. You know, she's in recovery too. And she got sober on her own with no program, but she's just tired of it.
Good.
Yeah.
But not me, I use the program, you know, because I messed up.
Same.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway.
So it's been cool because in our bond we have, we get to allow each other to be healthy. We get to allow each other to be sick some days.
Exactly.
You're
human beings.
Yeah, we get to learn how to allow another person that we care about intimately to be unapologetically themselves. And it's been a learning curve. I've never been in a relationship sober that I wanted to keep.
Right.
I really haven't. It was always on to the next one.
I can relate. It's crazy.
I even went through my Facebook. I have a few times because I get Facebook friends and just think, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm gonna keep this on the side.
On the back burner.
Just in case. And I went through my Facebook and I deleted 60 people. Not because they gave me some clue that they wanted to have anything to do with me, but my motive's up in my head. I wanted to be true to myself because the only way to be true to this bond is to be true to myself. You know? So I do that every once in a while because I still got sick thinking. And I'm grateful that we get to share this bond and I'm really grateful that you invited us.
Yeah,
Man,
exactly.
Thank you. I respect you a lot, man.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it a while ago, and we talked about Ryan coming on, and you know, I thought just Tana was gonna show up, but lo and behold, Ryan's here.
There's Ryan.
He's trying to sit over in the corner. I was like, get your buddy here, man. Pull up a chair, man. And we want to hear it too. Us guys on YouTube, man. But yeah, I remember when I first met Ryan, you were the house manager in Twin Buttes, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You and Brian. So that was pretty cool. Like, what are you doing way out here? You know, this Jesus-looking dude, you know, running a house. But that's when I first got here, you know. But yeah, well, and in the relationship though, I can totally relate. I mean, like me and my fiance, we put it out there. You know, there's no more messing around, no more being sneaky. If you're gonna do that, just go. We
Yep.
both agreed. You know, don't waste each other's time.
Absolutely.
Which a relationship should be. You know, like obviously I've done that in the past. You know, I actually had an old profile. You know, my real name, but I got rid of it. So Jay Rizzo is kind of like my last name is Russell, so Rizzo reminds of Russell.
Yeah.
And people call me Jay, so I just created a profile, like new beginnings, sober life. And so everybody just started calling me Jay Rizzo, and it just kind of stuck, you know. It has nothing to do with a pizzo, if you guys know. I'm not a tweaker, so I don't know. It didn't even dawn on me, it reminds me with a pizzo.
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic, so it's like, just call me Jay Rizzo. You know? Call me Jay Riz.
Jay Riz.
Yeah.
Jay Riz.
So, yeah. Anyways, so after you guys got together, you know, you started mingling basically. Did you guys like move in together right away? You know, what was it?
U-Haul.
Yeah. Oh,
Second date?
The
U-Haul.
second day. You know? She could make some.
We waited like what, a good 3 weeks,
Yeah.
maybe a month.
No,
I'm kidding.
we didn't.
We didn't?
No.
No.
First time you came over, you didn't leave.
We stayed up all night.
Yeah, it was
Like
my sobriety birthday.
Yeah,
My
we stayed up all night
my-
and we kept our clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
No, I'm
2-year
just kidding.
my 2-year sobriety anniversary.
Oh,
Yep.
that's cool.
Yep, and then I was thinking when Ryan was talking, the best part about being in a healthy relationship, well, with him, this guy, I get to be my own individual
Nice.
self, and then we get to come together, but not be so enmeshed that if something happens, that my life doesn't fall apart.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what Ryan was saying that too, you know, like this, so we don't fall apart individually.
Mhm.
And I've went through some really tough times in sobriety and stayed sober, and some of them have been really tough, you know. And I think that's where the rubber meets the road, you know, like when stuff gets hard, am I still okay? Well, yeah, if I stay sober, as long as I stay sober, everything's okay.
Yep.
You know, and it's only gonna get worse if I drink or use.
So before that happened, were you like a runner? Like you ran
Oh
from shit?
yeah, always.
Like we all
Even-
do, right?
Okay, yep,
Yeah.
I was a runner, and my sponsor asked me, "Are you ready to close the back door? No more running."
Nice.
And I was like, "Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I am." And even the times where I do feel like running, I will sometimes just hit my knees and pray.
There you go.
Because that's way better than taking off and having regrets and feeling guilty, and then I end up doing things I regret.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
So now when you learned about staying and learning, you know, how to tackle your problems instead of running, that was part of the program, right? Or was it like, obviously it was God and your spirituality?
Yes. My spiritual path, the spiritual path that I get to be on. I go to therapy, so I do seek outside help from social support groups, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of that has helped. You know, the thing that has helped me the most besides prayer and meditation are putting pen to paper. That's something that has helped me so much.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I keep it all up in my head, it rolls around and none of it makes sense, and I can't tell what's real and what's not. And that's alcoholism and drug addiction. That's the disease. And so when I get it all on paper, I can tell the difference between what's real and what's not.
So you write a journal? Is it pen and paper? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, a journal.
Oh, nice.
And
Okay.
step work.
Yeah.
Lots of step work.
Yeah. A lot of sponsoring, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
It's good.
That's good.
Yep.
How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, the pen to paper is huge for me. Because whenever I keep something in my head, and this is something I found out with my latest sponsor mentor, is that I was taught from a very young age that men don't express their feelings. And if you have feelings to express, you go in a dark corner and you don't come out of that dark corner until you're done expressing them. And so I carried that with me for 32 years, and it was really hard for me to look another guy in the face and just say, I'm scared today.
Yeah.
I'm lost today. I'm hurt today. Because I shouldn't say it was against everything I was taught, but everything that I collected from childhood said that. I'm not saying that everybody taught me that or that was the main thing, but just being honest with myself and honest with another person when I'm not okay, when I feel lost, and getting past that whole toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
I don't have to pretend like I'm okay if I'm not anymore, which is beautiful.
Right.
And when I start letting that out as it comes up, it's less frequent. Like my good days way outnumber my bad now. The moments are the good moments are huge compared to the rough ones or the struggling ones. And I'd love to say that I'm cured, but I still have days. I'll still take a 3-4 day just sickness, and just I'm keeping this. I'm gonna pet it and I'm gonna feed it and I'm gonna name it.
Yeah.
And
Which we all do. You know?
yeah, man.
We're humans, man.
I like a little chaos once in a while. I stir stuff up with myself. And one of the things that's real beautiful is that I get to walk out on the other side of it with a lesson. And I get to walk out on the other side of it and maybe look at my wife and say, that's not how I want to talk to you. I apologize. Or go up to one of my friends and say, I don't want to talk to you like that anymore, brother. I apologize. I don't have to build up this stuff. I don't have to duck in Walmart anymore. It's just fantastic, man.
You know what I do? Like I hit them when I bump heads with somebody. Obviously, we're gonna bump heads with somebody throughout our day, And then at the end of the day, I hit them with the love you, bro. And they're like, what the hell, man? It's easy for me to say because when I first heard that, being said to me by a complete stranger in a meeting or whatnot, love you, bro, and they'll give me a hug. I'm like, you don't know me, But now it's like I'm that guy giving hugs and telling them I love them, just because I love them, I love you, bro, Like you guys are my brothers and sisters, and whoever watches it, they're brothers and sisters too,
Yes, absolutely.
It's crazy, just that newfound lifestyle of being in recovery, man. It's awesome. Yeah. Being free,
Yes.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
It's crazy. So now that you guys found each other, you've been in recovery. Like today, what do you guys do to remain in recovery? Obviously, there's hard days, like you guys both said. Like, what do you do today?
Lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. I talk with my sponsor nearly every day. I'm not perfect. I'm human. But nearly every day I message her and I let her know what I'm doing to protect my recovery. And it doesn't matter how long I stay sober. All I have is today, and so I can't rest on what I did in the past in recovery to keep me well today. So each day, and then but I do that for not necessarily to get her to say anything to me or approve of it or disapprove, but it's just to have it out there, somebody else knows what my plan is. And because I was so secretive and and just everybody would tell me, you're such a mystery, Tana, and I thought it was a compliment. It's not. And then I go to meetings, I go to social support meetings, and that's something that's the highlight of my day when I do that, because when I first got sober, I was super excited to be sober, in the beginning, because I thought, oh my gosh, I have a chance, at a different life, and that feeling started to dwindle off, and And, but I still went because my feet were trained. Like, just go to the meeting, you know, even when I don't want to. But now I get excited to go to meetings, meet new women at the meetings, get my phone number out. I'm not scared to do that anymore. I'm not scared to take phone numbers, you know, and pick up my phone when them women call, because both of our lives depend on it. Right. And so I'm not doing it to get anything from that woman, but it always does come back, you know what I mean? Like, I can't keep what has been so freely given to me.
Right.
And so lots of things, meet with new women in the program, going to lots of meetings. I have a home group. I call it home. It's home because it's where I fit in. It's where I belong. I can go to any meeting and fit in at any meeting. If I feel like I don't, it's because I'm doing that to myself. Anyway, I have this place that I like to call home, and I love it. I get to participate in that in my own life, my own recovery in that way, and other people's lives. And there's lots of stuff I do. Step work, if something comes up, like messaging my sponsor about something that comes up inside of me, and then I get to do step work. So it's like a one day at a time thing. It's not just, oh, well, and I've done this too, where I'm like, oh, no big deal. She don't want to hear about that anyways. It's like, yeah, she does. And even if I think it's ridiculous, I text her or I call her and tell her, because she never laughs at me and tells me you're an idiot. She never ever belittles me. She doesn't tell me something's wrong with me. She helps me, you know, and she helps me get to God. She isn't my higher power, because sometimes I do lean into her, but she helps me get back on that spiritual path and be closer with my Creator. And so that's what I love the most about my recovery, is meeting with the new women and then being led back onto that spiritual path and being closer with my Creator.
Oh yeah, it's badass. How about you, Ryan?
Well, like, so for when it comes to my personal recovery, I gotta remember the simple things I did when I first got in. Granted, a lot of them, I shouldn't say a lot of them, some of them don't work anymore, and that's where that seeking comes. That's where I gotta go find something that's gonna work. But I gotta remember the simple things, like being the fellowship. Like, meetings are important, and the fellowship before and after the meeting, and letting people in a little bit, so that when I'm feeling some sort of way and don't even know it, they can look at me and just go, "Hey man, you all right?
Yeah.
Everything okay today?" Yeah. And like after this, we're gonna go out to a sobriety bonfire.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing organized about it. We just go out there, start a fire, and we just get to know people a little bit better. And for me, like Tana mentioned earlier, really strengthened it has been ceremony. So I go to Sweats and being helpful at Sundance, and just going out there and learn what it's like to be part of a community like that, and having people care. Yeah. And like, as a couple, to keep things going, it's we travel together, go on road trips, we go out in nature. Nice. We've been morel hunting, and no, I won't tell you.
We're there.
I will.
Cash App.
Oh, yeah.
No. But I mean, it's all these things, and the biggest thing for me is taking care of myself one day at a time, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's not easy. No perfect days, but when I'm feeling some sort of way, once in a while, I just need a sandwich or a glass of water.
Yeah.
Or I need to take a minute and just go to a quiet place and breathe for a minute. It's real simple, but I can get way off track if I'm not paying attention to those four things. So I'm grateful for like the job I have at MHA Recovery Services, and being able to be around sober people, and sober lodges, and it renews my want to do better for myself so that I can show up for people in a better way.
There you go.
And to be able to help people one day at a time is a beautiful thing, because a lot of people help me.
Yeah.
And they continue
Right.
to, so I'm grateful to be able to give back like that.
Yes, sir. So that being said, you know, obviously all three of us in recovery, we're doing good, and we have our bad days and good days, you know, just like every other human being. But thanks to the recovery program, we've learned how to deal with a lot of things and accept them, you know, move on. Especially with God in our life, our higher power of our choosing. So that pretty much be the end of our show. Would you guys like to shout out anybody, or you know, give props to anybody out there in YouTube land?
I really, really, really want to thank my mom for being such a powerful rock in my life. I really, really appreciate everything that you do for our family. And thank you for never, ever, ever giving up on me. And also, I won't say her name because that'd be inappropriate, but I really want to thank my sponsor for being part of my life and helping me stay on this spiritual path and having that connection with my higher power.
Awesome.
And me, I'd like, yeah, definitely my parents, my mom, my dad were pivotal in my recovery. And the cool thing is that my mom never gave up on me and taught me how to pray. And my dad was my using buddy, and now he's in recovery.
Woo.
So huge
Yeah.
shout out to
Nice.
higher power out there, and definitely shout out to Brother Brandon.
Yeah.
Doing a great thing with that radio show.
Woo.
Jay Dobo with that spice. If you haven't tried Jay Dobo yet, there's something wrong with you. And big shout out, last but not least, to my brother Jay Riz
Jay
for
Riz.
holding it down and
Yeah.
putting these things together, and
Yeah.
Subscribe.
being a good example to a lot of people, me included. So thank you,
Yeah,
brother.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate it. Heck
Thank
yeah.
you.
Another great show, man. If you guys, you know, if you guys want to be on the show, hit me up on Facebook. Friend me if you want. I'm Recovery Warrior. That's Recovery Dash Warrior. I also have a personal Facebook page, Jay Rizzo. Ryan Bjorgen and Tana Bjorgen, right?
That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah, if you guys want to hit them up too.
Yep.
Just hit me up if you want to be on the show, preferably Bismarck area now, but eventually I'm going to get out and about, be mobile, you know. But yeah, big shout out to Brother Brandon and Jay Dobo. Hopefully they'll be on the show soon. I got people lined up, you know,
Yeah.
throughout
Right.
June. So, but this show is just starting. It's just continuing. And that being said, you know, I'll ask you guys to be on the show in months down from now if you guys want to be.
Well,
Love
yeah,
to.
We'll
absolutely.
do a check-in and see
Love
where you're
to.
at, you know, then. And yeah, man, just really thank you guys. Love you, brother and sister.
Love
Love
you,
you,
brother.
Yeah, so YouTube land, if you guys like what you see, hit that like. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe. And don't forget to check out Jay Dobo and Brother Brandon.
J-Dobo.
All right. Thank you guys. With that, we will pass.
Peace
Love
and
you.
love.
Pass
Bye.
for now.